cuboidal epithelium, and columnar epithelium. Okay, and that also we finished, and we started with the stratified epithelium. In that stratified, we studied about squamous. That is, in that squamous epithelium, there's two types of epithelium. First one is keratinized and second one is non-keratinized based on the presence of protein keratin. And the second type is transitional epithelium. This much we explained in the last class. Okay, today we are going to start connective tissue. That means mainly tissues are classified into 4 types. In that, first type is epithelium and the second type is connective tissue. Today we are going to study connective tissue. Okay, it's very important. Just understand whatever I am teaching, make sure notes, and it will be very helpful during your public exam. Okay, directly we will go to textbook first. And if you have any friends who are struggling to study, and if you are some friends are not didn't get paper in the previous year, you can share our channel for them if it is useful. Okay, they can also study from this. Here you can see connective tissue. Connective tissue means the word itself you can understand connecting something, that is connective tissue which connecting something, that is known as connective tissue. Okay, connective tissue is the most abundant. So onward question, connective tissue is the most abundant tissue in the body. This is one word question. You may get questions from this area also. They may ask which type of tissue is most abundant in the body. Which type of tissue? That is connective tissue. Connective tissue is most abundant in our body. The connective tissue cells are more widely separated. When I taught about epithelial tissue, I told you these cells are closely packed. There is no space or very less space between the cell. But in connective tissue, these cells are arranged widely separatedly, means there is a space between cell. Okay, there is a space between cell. Okay, from each other than epithelial tissue. And intercellular substance is present considerably larger amount. What is meant by intercellular substance? The substance presence between these cells. This substance is, this fluid or substance is called intercellular substance or intercellular matrix. Okay, this is in large amount because it is loosely arranged. There is a space between cells. So some fluid or some matrix or some jelly like substance will be present between these two cells. Okay, you understood what is meant by connective tissue? Connective tissue is a type of tissue found in our body, in which is the most abundant tissue in our body. That is connective tissue only. In the connective tissue, cells are arranged in a separate manner, and there is a space between cells, and some fluid or matrix or substances are present in between cells. Understood? Okay. Here you can see, depending upon the position functions of the tissue, these connective tissues are different types. Okay, the types based on the functions, positions, locations, and mainly connective tissue divided into different types, that we will study different types of connective tissue later. Before that, we should know what are the functions of, major functions of connective tissue, major functions of connective tissue. That is mainly 4 functions: binding and structural support. That means, for example, I will tell you that our bone is a connective tissue. It's a connective tissue. Why? What is the function of bone? It giving structural support when we are standing, sitting, bending. These bones are giving structural support for us. Okay, moreover, some tissues, muscles, some tendons, everything is there to bind or hold this bone. This is also connective tissue. So these are the different functions of bone. That the first one is binding and structural support. Second one is protection. Third one is transport. That means through the blood. Blood is a connective tissue, through the blood transportation occurring, and insulation. That means maintaining temperature. Okay, maintaining temperature, insulation. These are the different functions of what? Connective tissue. Okay. Before going to more detail and types of connective tissue, we will have an idea about types of cells. We know that tissue means it's a group of cells. Once same type of cells come together, then we call it as tissue. Is it? So, in the connective tissue, there is different types of cells based on the types and functions of and location of the connective tissue. Different types of cells we can see. We will see what are the types of cell. Here, connective tissue, excluding blood, is found in all organs supporting the specialized tissue. The different types of cell involved in this connective tissue are, first one is fibroblast. This is one type of cell, and the second one is fat cell, second type of cell. Third one, macrophages, third type of cell. Fourth one, leukocytes. Fifth one, mast cell. These are the main five types of cells found in connective tissue other than blood. Blood also connective tissue only. Other than blood, what are the different types of cells found in connective tissue? Fibroblast, fat cells, macrophages, leukocytes, mast cells. One by one, we will read. Okay. Actually, you don't have to by heart these things, but you have to understand, because while we are studying and upcoming chapters in the future, system wise class, it's a respiratory system, digestive system, urinary system, cardiovascular system, and all we will study. When you are studying anatomy and physiology of other chapters, it is very essential to know about this type of cells. So I am going to explain this type of cells found in where our body. Now, connective tissue. Okay. First type of cell is, as I told you before, is a fibroblast. Okay. First type is fibroblast. Okay. Fibroblast. Fibroblasts are large cells with irregular processes. Fibroblasts are large cells. Okay, I don't know whether they're showing the pictures are here or not. We'll see whether any pictures there's no, nothing they are showing. Okay, anyway, you just read this one. Fibroblasts are large cells with irregular processes. Is figure 3.5 is there? No. Oh, 1 minute. Let me check for 1 minute. Figure 3.5. I didn't see. Maybe some other area it will be there. We'll see that later. Fibroblasts are large cells with irregular process. They manufacture. What is the function of fibroblasts? Fibroblast means it manufacture collagen and elastic fibers and a matrix of extracellular material. Okay, what is the function of fibroblast? Fibroblast is a large cell. It produce or it create collagen, elastic fibers, and matrix of extracellular material. You understood? Collagen fibers are shown in this figure 316. This is the collagen fibers it's showing. This is this green color. This is collagen fibers. These collagen fibers are created or manufactured by whom? Fibroblast. Very fine collagen fibers, sometimes called as reticulin fibers. Okay, this collagen fibers also thick, thin, and all is there, but in that very fine, that means very thin collagen fibers are called reticulin fibers, are found in highly active tissue such as liver. Liver, in the liver. In our body, one organ is liver. In the liver and reticular, the reticular, this and all you will study later. Reticular tissue. In these type of organs, what we can see reticulin fibers, that is very thin or very fine collagen fibers produced by fibroblast. Fibroblast means it is a cell only. It produce collagen, elastic fibers and matrix of extracellular material. Okay. the, this collagen, in this collagen fibers, very fine collagen fibers called reticulin fibers, and it is found in liver and reticular tissues. Okay, fibroblasts are particularly active in tissue repair, that means wound healing, where they may bind together to cut surfaces of wounds or form granulation tissue following tissue destruction. That means nothing is there. Fibroblasts an important role, an active role in wound healing. If there is any wound, any cut, it should be normally closed after that. It should be healed. There should be formation of granulation tissue. Is it? This formation of granulation tissue or wound healing is helped by whom? Fibroblast. See? Next, the collagen fibers formed during wound healing shrink as they age, sometimes interfering with the functions of organ involved in it. Okay, leave that one. No need. Just understand what is meant by fibroblast. It's a type of large cells and produce collagen and elastic fibers. The collagen fibers produced by fibroblast, very thin collagen fibers called reticulin fibers. These reticulin fibers found actively in liver and reticular tissue. One more thing about fibroblasts, it have an active role in wound healing or granulation tissue formation. Okay, this is first cell in connective tissue. And the second cell is fat cell. Fat cell. Fat cells, otherwise known as adipocytes. Okay, you understood? By heart now itself, adipocytes. Adipocytes means fat cells. This is second type of cell present in connective tissue. These cells occur singly or in group in many types of connective tissue and are especially abundant in adipose tissue. Okay, fat cell, otherwise known as adipocytes, and it may found single or may found group in connective tissues. Especially it is more in fat cells are more in adipose tissue. They vary in size, shape according to the amount of fat they contain. Okay, fat cells are otherwise called as adipocytes, and it is found a group. Sometime it will be group or single, and it is more common in connective tissues. Especially it is based on size, shape, and based on the fat amount of fat contained in this cell. In this cell, it is varying size, shape, and based on the amount of fat they contain. It is classified into different types. Okay, and the third type of cell is macrophages. Macrophages is third type of cells found in connective tissue. These are large irregular shaped cells. Okay, macrophages are large irregular shaped cells with granules in the cytoplasm. Macrophages, where we studied, when we studied cells, that time I explained macrophages, it's found in the cytoplasm. Okay, granules found in the cytoplasm, that is macrophages. So macrophages are irregular shaped and it contains granules in the cytoplasm. Some macrophages are fixed and attached to the connective tissue fibers, and others are motile. Macrophages means two types, mainly two types. Some macrophages are found movable, it's volatile and it's motile. It have the ability to move from one area to other area. Some macrophages are fixed up in particular position, particular fibers, particular connective tissues fibers. It is attached to or fixed to some location. Okay, next, they are an important part of the body's defense mechanisms because they are actively phagocytic, engulfing and digesting cell debris, bacteria and other foreign bodies. Okay, macrophages means it has irregular shaped cell and it is found in cytoplasm. Some macrophages are fixed in particular location. Some macrophages are motile. Okay, it is moving continuously. It is moving. Moreover, macrophages have a function, important role in defense mechanism in our body. So, maybe defense mechanism, it is protecting our body from other bacteria and other debris, cell debris. What are the cells or some debris, any worn out or died cells and all is that means these macrophages will be engulfing that debris and destroying the digesting that cell debris and bacteria and any other foreign bodies found in our body that will be digested by macrophages. So it is known as it is, so we said this macrophages have important role in defense mechanism. Their activities are typical of those of the monocyte macrophages defense. Example, monocyte in the blood. You just have noted this point. Monocyte in blood. When we study blood detailedly, I will explain you what is meant by monocyte. The monocyte is a type of cell found in blood and Kupffer cells. Kupffer, this you can expect for one word question. Kupffer cell in liver sinusoids, sinus lining cells in the lymph nodes and spleen and microglial cells in the brain. In these all areas, macrophages have defense mechanism. What they are doing? The same function. It will be attaching, engulfing and digesting any cell debris, any bacteria and any other foreign bodies will be digested or destroyed by these macrophages. This is third type of cell. What and all we studied? Cells in the connective tissue, fibroblast, fat cell, macrophages. And the fourth type of cell is leukocytes. So also that is white blood cells, WBC, otherwise known as leukocytes. It is normally found in blood. Okay, normally found in small numbers in healthy connective tissue, but neutrophils migrate in significant numbers during infection when they play an important part in tissue defense. Plasma cells develop B lymphocytes. The total we will study later. Leukocytes anyway we are going to study in blood, so no need to get tense to this thing. Leukocytes, that also one type of cell found in connective tissue. Another one is mast cells. These are similar to basophils. You know, I think you people know basophil means one type of WBC only. WBC again is divided into some other classification is there. I will explain you in the blood. When we are studying about blood and blood cells, we will explain you very detail. This mast cells means it is similar to basophil leukocytes only. That means one type of WBC only. Similarly, same type of WBC only. They are found in loose connective tissue under fibrous capsule, some organ, liver, in the liver and spleen and all, it is found. Okay, in the liver and spleen, loose connective tissue. In the loose connective tissue, we can see mast cell. That rest of the topic, no need, just understand this one. Okay, now we will go to slide. Connective tissue. Here you can see same thing only. I will explain you once more. It is most abundant tissue. This is important topic. Which connective tissue is most abundant in the body? That is, which tissue is most abundant? That is connective tissue. Connective tissue cells are more widely separated because these cells are not closely attached. It is widely separated each other and there is a space, and in this space there is intracellular substances also. And these connective tissues are made up of 5 different types of cells like fibroblast, fat cells, macrophages, leukocytes and mast cells. Okay, here you can see this is it's a microscopic structure of connective tissue. Neutrophil is there. That means leukocyte only. Leukocytes. Eosinophil is WBC, leukocytes only. Elastic fibers. I told you fibroblasts produce fibers. Is it elastic and collagen fibers and are produced by fibroblast. Here you can see the fibroblast and these elastic fibers, collagen fibers, fat cell, mast cell, macrophages. Everything will be found in connective tissue. Okay, these are the cells in connective tissue. And what are the functions of connective tissue? It provides support, it transport materials, it store energy, it protect, it insulating. Okay, these are the important functions of connective tissue. And here you can see already what and all I told, what are the different types of cell. Next, same thing, fibroblast, I explained already. Fibroblasts produce collagen and elastic fibers. And what is the function? And next, fat cell, otherwise known as adipocyte, it is found in adipose tissue, fat tissues. And macrophages, it has important role in defense mechanism or destroying or engulfing and digesting bacteria and cell debris. Leukocyte, that is WBC. And next one, mast cells, basophilic leukocytes. Okay, next we are going to see the types of connective tissue. Connective tissue. Till now we have seen what are the types of cells. Cells found in connective tissue. Here we are going to study types of connective tissue. Okay, classification of connective tissue. Mainly it is divided into loose connective tissue, adipose tissue, reticular or lymphoid tissue, dense connective tissue, cartilage, bone, and fluid connective tissue. Mainly connective tissues are divided into different types like loose or areolar connective tissue, adipose tissue, reticular or lymphoid tissue, dense connective tissue, cartilage, bone, fluid. Fluid means in that blood and lymph. Both will come in this fluid connective tissue. Okay, this is a vast topic. I will explain. Anyway, don't get tense. I will explain each and every area. I will explain very detailedly. Connective tissue means loose connective tissue is there, adipose tissue, reticular tissue or lymphoid tissue is there, dense connective tissue is there, cartilage, bone, fluid connective tissue. One by one, we will study. Okay, here you can still see this is loose connective tissue. Here and all, this is a bone. This is a bone and it's a joint. Here loose connective tissue we can see. This is bone. Okay, this is bone. That also one type of connective tissue only. Here you can see fibrous connective tissue. Fibrous connective tissue. Here you can see cartilages. That also are connective tissue only. Here you can see blood vessels and blood. That also connective tissue only. That is fluid connective tissue. Okay, and here you can see adipose tissue. That also one type of connective tissue only. In our body, each and every type of connective tissue found. That's why we are telling most abundant tissue found in our body, that is connective tissue. Okay, first one is loose areolar connective tissue. Now we will go to textbook. After reading textbook, we will come to this one. Okay, first classification, that is loose or areolar connective tissue. That word itself we should know. Cells are, this connective tissue cells are arranged in a, like a freely arranged. There is enough space between cells. Okay, that's why it's become loose connective tissue. That means it is very soft. Loose means very soft. This is a most generalized type of connective tissue. They just most generalized type of connective tissue, that is loose connective tissue. The matrix is semi-solid with many fibroblasts and fat some fat cells or adipocytes, mast cells, macrophages are widely separate. This is a word. Each and every type of cells are present. Fibroblast is there, adipocyte is there, mast cells is there, macrophages is there. But these cells are arranged in a separate. There is a space between these cells, widely separated by elastic and collagen fibers. It is found in almost every part of our body, providing it this because of this loose presence of loose connective tissue only in some part of our body having elasticity and tensile strength. Okay, for example, I will tell you under the skin, between muscles, supporting blood vessels and nerves, and in the alimentary canal, in the gland supporting secretory cells. In these areas, what we can see, loose connective tissue or areolar connective tissue. What is the specification of loose connective tissue? These all cells are arranged in such a manner like widely separated by each other by elastic and collagen fibers. So it is very elastic one. Usually it is found under the skin, between muscles, supporting blood vessels and nerves, and in the alimentary canal and in glands. Everywhere we can see. This is the first type. And the second classification of connective tissue, that is adipose tissue. That is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue itself, you know that fat cell. Adipose tissue consists of fat cells, or otherwise called as adipocyte. And cyte means cell. Adipose tissue or adipocyte. Okay, containing large fat globules. The adipocyte, what we can see, large fat globules in the matrix of areolar tissue. There are two types. Adipose tissue itself, it's a fat cell. It is made up of, it consists of fat cell only, and it contains large fat globules. Mainly this adipose tissue divided into two types. What are they? White adipose tissue and brown adipose tissue. White adipose tissue and brown adipose tissue. First we will see white adipose tissue. White adipose tissue, this makes up 20 to 25% of body weight in adult with a normal body mass index. In the adult men or adult in a normal adult body, 20 to 25% of body weight is made by whom? White adipose tissue. Adipose tissue mainly two types, white and brown. This brown white adipose tissue itself, it makes 20 to 25% of body weight. Okay, more is present in obesity. This is very important. White adipose tissue more present, it found more in obese and less in who is underweight, who is having less weight, having less white adipose tissue. Who is having more weight, it have more white adipose tissue, not brown, white adipose tissue. Now we are studying about white adipose tissue. It is more in obese and less in underweight or thin. Okay, adipose tissue secretes the hormone leptin. Leptin is a hormone produced by whom? Adipose tissue. The kidneys and eyeballs are supported by adipose tissue, which is also found between muscle fibers under the skin, where it acts as a thermal insulator and energy source. Where and all we can see this white adipose tissue. Kidney, in the kidney we can see white adipose tissue. In the eyeball there is a white adipose tissue, and also we can see between muscle fibers. And also other than this one, under the skin we can see there and all it is acting as a temperature regulator or thermal insulator, and more other than this it is act as a energy storing place. Energy storage, it is acting as a energy store. This is white adipose tissue. Okay, 20 to 25% of body weight is made by white adipose tissue, and it is white adipose tissue more in obese members, obese people, and is less in underweight people. This adipose tissues secrete a hormone called leptin. Leptin, and it is found in kidney, eyeball, and between muscle fibers, under the skin, everywhere, and it is having function like a thermal insulator and energy store. This is about white adipose tissue. Next one is the adipose tissue. Second type is brown adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue, this is present in the newborn. When a baby born or birth, then in these newborn babies we can see brown adipose tissue more. It has more extensive capillary network than white adipose tissue. White adipose tissue means there is less capillary network. Brown adipose tissue means there is extensive, more capillary network. Okay, and it is found in newborn. Okay, when brown tissue is metabolized, it produces less energy and considerably more heat than other fat. Okay, brown tissue produce more heat than other fat. So because of the brown adipose tissue only, for newborn they can maintain normal body temperature. Otherwise, if brown adipose tissue is less, means they can't maintain normal body temperature. Okay, and one more point, this brown adipose tissue is found in newborn and is very less in adult. If it is there also, it is very less in small amount only in adult. It's found only small amount in adults. Okay, here we finished two types of tissue, loose areolar tissue and adipose tissue. Okay, loose areolar tissue, what we studied, loose areolar, all cells, types of cells we've studied in the connective tissue, everything will be there, but all cells are separated each other. There is a space between these cells and it is very elasticity, and it is found in under the skin, between muscles, supporting blood vessels, alimentary canal, glands, everywhere we can see that. Second type is adipose tissue, and it is made up of fat cells or adipocytes, and there are two types of adipose tissue, white and brown. White means our normal adult 20 to 25% of body weight is made by white adipose tissue, and is more in obese and less in underweight people. And this adipose tissue produces leptin hormone and is found in kidney, eyeball, and under the skin. Parental is act as a thermoregulator, supporter, and energy store. And the second type is brown adipose tissue and is present in more in newborn and is very important to maintain body temperature, and it is found only very small amount in adult. Okay. Next type is reticular tissue. Third type is reticular tissue. Reticular tissue has semi-solid matrix with a fine branching reticular fibers. Already I told